Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Travel and Go workshop. We're going to do online here tonight. So, if you would throw in the chat or unmute yourself and let me know when you think about going out and about or traveling, whether it's far or near, what are some health concerns or some common things that come up for you that you're like, I wish I had a solution? Does anybody want to share? Hmm. We have a quiet group. Well, well, I'm going to plug ahead and say that I've experienced lots of things today, and I'm going to share some with you. When we look at essential oils for traveling and going, and supporting our health easily, they're a great solution. Couple reasons that I've found out on this trip why they're a great solution. First of all, they're small. They don't take up a lot of space. That's kind of important, especially when we did carry on only this morning when we headed out. I had to have very little, right? Secondly, if we have something come up, I want it to work like that. I don't want to wait 3 days of my vacation to have something like kick in, right? So I love that they're very quick support and very effective support without any side effects. I'm not taking something that's going to make me drowsy or woozy or lightheaded. And so that's important. When we're looking at traveling and go right now, I am in Colorado. I am here to visit some friends and go to some concerts because I love my concerts. So we're going to go to Red Rocks on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and walk lots and lots and lots of stairs. More stairs than you probably even can imagine are going to be out there. So let's talk about some things that might have come up today or are going to be coming up throughout our trip. And maybe this happens to you even if you're headed out to go to Sinisippi to the band shell to watch some music, or you're going out to the pool with some friends, or you're just in your backyard. Stuff comes up when we're moving about, and it's nice to have handy solutions with us. So, one of the things that came up this morning is I haven't flown in a while and I was a bit anxious, right? Anybody get anxious when they are traveling and just like worried about all the details, right? If you're out and about and you're feeling anxious, what's something we might use for anxious feelings? Anybody got something that they know is a calming solution?
Serenity.
Serenity. Yes, serenity is a great calming solution. Anybody else?
Lavender or adaptive.
Ooh, lavender or adaptive. Thank you, Monica. Yes, adaptive or lavender. Now, I did bring my small bottle of adaptive with me. Great for anxious feelings. It also helps if I need to be focused and paying attention. And if I needed just a little happiness pick me up. Love it. So, really easy just to have some support. Now, whether you're using that topically by using the roller and rolling it on your wrists or the back of your neck, maybe you're putting a drop in your hands before you go somewhere and breathing it in, taking some nice deep inhales, or maybe you're using even the supplement form of some of these oils to get that internal support. So anxious feelings, we got on the plane, anxious once we got there and did the bus and all the things and everything lined up, the anxiousness started to let down until maybe about 30 seconds before that plane went like going down the runway. That gets a little crazy. So I did do a little inhaling to calm myself down. So one of the things when we are out and about, and especially today as us getting on a plane, was immune support. I don't know about you, but when I think of an airplane, I think about the germiest place in the world. That's about all I can say. I will tell you, I had my on card hand spray. Okay. I use this to spray down the tray table, to apply to my hands after the bathroom because I don't know, there's a million surfaces in that thing. The other thing we did is we took an On Guard Plus soft gel before we left the house. We also did take another On Guard soft gel when we got all the way here just to support our immune system. I love that we have easy immune support. And there's other oils like your oregano, your frankincense, you know, your throat drops. I heard a great tip from another doTERRA leader, and she said use the On Guard throat drop, and right before you take off, right when you get on the plane, put an On Guard throat drop in your mouth and just let it slowly dissolve. Kind of adjust to that environment, give you a little extra added boost, and hopefully it did the trick because we're off the plane and now we got to have fun. So I love we have our immune support. Now, I'm going to talk about a little spray that you can make up using a 1 ounce glass spray bottle. You may want to take notes on this. I will tell you, I do have recipe sheets for this stuff. If you would like the recipes, I can text you that recipe sheet after. So if you're like, I didn't get all the details, I can send it to you. So, but On Guard. Let's say you want to have like a little, if your throat gets a little sore, a little immune boost on the go. Take some On Guard oil and add some drops to a glass spray bottle. 1 ounces, I would do 10 to 20 drops. Add water. Tighten the cap. You're going to shake it up and spray it in your mouth, not in your eyes. And it's like kind of like that throat spray you used to use. What is also great is if you have this spray bottle, when you get to a hotel room, you can spray off the remote, the little end table next to the bed, all those little germy spots, some water and some On Guard, you're good to go. You could amp this up with some vodka or rubbing alcohol, but water will work, and you got water just about everywhere. So nice, easy little immune support boost. Now, one thing that came up when I was flying is sometimes when we land in Colorado, the elevation will affect us. Everybody says hydrate, hydrate. Yes, that is important. One of the things we can also do, because the air is thinner, is we can use some frankincense or some basil, and we would apply that right on the back of our neck on that little divot, that little brain stem. Those two oils, actually, basil is one of them, but cedarwood and frankincense are the two strongest ones. If you're going to pick one, cedarwood and frankincense, they help oxygenate the brain. So it helps our brain get more oxygen in this new altitude environment. I could take some frankincense, which I did, just because you know me and my baby Frankie. I love him. And I got him free this month, so it's even better. I love to put a drop under my tongue. I press my tongue to the, if I'm putting it on my tongue, press my tongue to the roof of my mouth, or just putting it under my tongue. I love when doTERRA gives us a free product of the month that we get those 5 ml bottles, because I can fit a lot of 5 ml bottles in my quart size baggie. So it really does help me for easy travel. Something that also comes up for me occasionally from flying or change in altitude is my ears, the ear pressure. I love tea tree, lavender, and basil. You can make a roller. I would do 5 drops of each of those into a 10 ml roller, top the rest with coconut oil. I then apply it around the ear, not in the ear, around the ear, and down the side of the neck where that eustachian tube is. You could even apply that on the back of your neck to relieve that pressure. If you have a roller ball and you want to reuse it, if you take the cap off and if you put it on just a little bit and tip it just so it kind of pries it up, it will easily let you take that roller ball top off. And then to put it on, if you're having a hard time getting it all the way down, screw the cap on tight and it can help reseat that. So I love that for a happy ears roller. For any time, for whether maybe you're swimming, maybe you get a little bit of funky ear stuff when you're swimming. This is a wonderful recipe to put around your ears. You could do 6 drops of lavender and 6 drops of tea tree. You could add in some basil, doing like 5 drops of each in that coconut oil to apply around the ears. Any questions so far? I'm going to just pause for a second before we roll on down the stream. Okay, we're going to keep rolling. Motion. I'm a motion sick girl. Always have been. Ginger drops, love them. Peppermint, little inhale, maybe even a little over my tummy. I love the Digestion for that motion wooziness that can come on. It also can help up with a stuffy nose. We know that Digestion, putting it right next to the nose, can open up those airways. Excuse me, I didn't bring any water down. Okay, so you're getting to your destination. Maybe it's a new destination, and you're like, I want to make up something that I can spray. And we're in the car. We're traveling 10 hours in the car. There's a bunch of stinky feet, um, stinky stuff going on. It's a long time. One moment.
Mm.
Okay. Stinky feet, stinky stuff, stinky hotel rooms, stinky whatever, right? Take a glass spray bottle. Airx. You could use Purify. You could use Citrus Bliss. You could use any oil you want. Airx, I feel, is one of the strongest. I just add 10 to 20 drops of Airx into my bottle, fill with water, shake, and spray. Now, when you're making these recipes, one thing that you want to make sure that you do is put some kind of label on it. Let's see, Stinky Spray. Put some kind of label on it because you're going to wonder in about 2 months or 5 days or 3 hours what the heck is in this spray bottle. And if we label it, we then know what it was. You can even write on your label exactly the drops you put in there so you can recreate it very easily. So make sure that you're labeling your things. So stinky space. Does anybody have a favorite oil that helps them make everything smell better and it just feels so fresh and clean to you when you're in those stinky situations? Eric's is one of mine. Lime is also one of mine. I think lime is very fresh and clean. It's always one of my picks if I'm looking at making fresh things. So, stinky spaces. Probably are getting to somewhere new. If you are traveling and maybe you have a hard time falling asleep in a different space that's not your regular bedroom, using your oils. Does anybody use an oil for sleep? Do you have a favorite oil for sleep, whether it's at home or away?
Serenity.
Serenity. How do you use Serenity, Joyce?
I diffuse it.
Wonderful. Nice and easy. Did anybody use the pilot diffuser? Say that again, Joyce.
Either diffuse it and then I put some on my wrist.
On the wrists. I even put some maybe on my chest or my feet, right? If anybody got the Pilot diffuser this month, that is a nice cordless travel diffuser. I love it for on the go, easy to grab. Fits in a cup holder in the car into like a nice, easy hotel room situation. Make it nice and quick. I also love lavender, vetiver. The vetiver roller has been one of my favorite vacation oils for a long time. It's something that I started using just by a trial thing. And I found out it was really good to stop the racing mind if I applied it to my big toe. But it's really what I call my melt me oil. So love some vetiver, very deep root oil. You also could be using Serenity soft gels. 1 to 2 capsules just before bed helps let that body drift into sleep. So, something that comes up when we talk about sleep and travel, and this is something none of us like to think about, but it's like a real thing. When we are traveling, sometimes does anybody ever worry about bed bugs? When I go to a hotel, I'm like checking the corners of the bed. I don't know. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a real thing. It's life. But there is a great spray you can make for bed bugs. It's literally lavender, peppermint, and tea tree, 7 drops of each, Fill the rest with water, shake and spray. You could spray that on your suitcase. Like before we left this morning, I sprayed it on the outside of our suitcase just that it could like repel things in the area. You could spray it on around the bed, on the mattress. Nice and easy spray of lavender, peppermint, and tea tree, which is just really simple, right? We've kind of probably all have those oils, but they've shown that bed bugs don't like those oils. So that's a great solution. Maybe you're on vacation. Does anybody get hot? I get hot sometimes, especially in the summer. If you don't get hot and you're not going on vacation, let's just say you're going to sit in the backyard in northern Illinois or next week, you're probably going to want this roller. I'm going to make it up for all of you to see it, but it's called my Cool Breeze roller. And it uses 3 drops of cypress, 3 drops of spearmint, and 3 drops of peppermint. So I'm just going to add in 3 drops of each of those oils. And then I'm going to top it with carrier oil, fractionated coconut oil, 3 spearmint, 3 cypress, and 3 peppermint. And when I fill my bottles with coconut oil, I love to use doTERRA's pump top. You can get for like $2 to add on to doTERRA's coconut oil. I stick the whole head in the bottle and I just pump that right up until it gets up to about the shoulder. And once it gets to the shoulder, I add my cap in and push down, and I've got a roller. Now, this is a roller that I would be using on the back of my neck, maybe in the creases of my forearms, or the back of my knees, wherever to help you cool down the body, because we know those oils are very cooling to the body. So I love that Cool Breeze roller. Something that always comes up on vacation for my family, whether it's me, my husband, my mom, everybody, is digestive support. We're eating stuff that we're not normally eating. Does anybody have your favorite digestive support for on the go, traveling, out and about? What do you go to?
Digestion.
Digestion. Somebody said yes, Digestion. I love Digestion, but when I'm traveling, I always travel with Digestion, at least a 5 ml or a roller of it. Always have Digestion. But something I carry in my purse, I get these little Ziploc baggies, and I love to take my Terrazyme with meals. I'm not at home, so that bottle's not on the counter. So I will fill up some baggies with just Terrazyme. And let's say we went to a restaurant and I ate something and it was like, oh my gosh, I'm so full. I'm sick to my stomach. I can't hardly do anything. I just want to go to sleep. I will pop a couple of these and it will help me have energy and it will pick me up and help that digestive system process that food I ate. So I have a couple of those with us because digestive support is always needed on these vacations. Somebody recommended equal parts of Digestion and Breathe. Nice. And spray the On Guard mist into the AC unit of the hotel room. A self diffuser in the hotel room using that AC unit. I love that. Thank you. And rubbing Digestion on the stomach. I'm guessing that was what you were meaning there. I'm not sure who is iPhone, but thank you. Great solution. I love that On Guard in the air conditioner. Great immune support for the whole room. Margie, yes, thank you, Margie. Awesome. I appreciate those tips. So when it comes to sun relief, maybe you're going to the pool, maybe you're going to Florida, maybe you're going to be out in the sun. I'm going to be up in the mountains in the sun. I'm going to use sun protection. I love doTERRA's sunscreen line because they even have lip balm for my little lips that get all dry and burnt out here in the elevation. If you happen to get a little too much sun, what is the first oil you think of when you think of sunburn? I know somebody knows this. Anybody? Lavender? Lavender? Lavender is the first thing I think of when I think of burns of any kind, whether it's from a hot pan, somebody, whatever happened, a burn, a sunburn, lavender. Using lavender with some peppermint, frankincense, you can make up a spray bottle for an after sun care. I will tell you the after sun spray, especially in the travel size that they offered, is amazing for any skin issues that come up and is a miracle worker for after sun relief. This is great for any kind of skin issues in general. Has hyaluronic acid in it, which is an amazing skin healer in general. So love that. Also, healing skin. I know we got some fans. Anybody heard this? What's that? Anybody know that one?
Correct X.
What do we do with the Correct X?
I use it on my lips.
Lips. That's a great one. Anybody else? I love this for like hangnails, dry cuticles. I use this for cuts, scrapes, burns, bug bites. It's kind of like that My Big Greek Wedding, whatever that movie was when they used the Windex. Correct X. It's the new Greek wedding tool here. It helps for all skin things. So I love to have a tube of that. That's nice and easy. It's an ointment. It's a Neosporin replacement. Love it. So that's a great one that I throw in. And I try to save my partially used tubes. So like we're only out here for a week. So there's just about this much in there. So it kind of lets me fold it up and it takes up less space in my bag. It does count as a liquid because it's an ointment, but at least I don't have to have a full tube and it can last me a long time. So this next one, a friend of mine tried out on her sore knee and she's been kind of battling it for a while and she was absolutely blown away with the results in a very quick manner. How many people here have heard of Deep Blue? Anybody? All right. Deep Blue. This recipe is a little different. So it's using a 10 mil roller. It's five drops of your Deep Blue.
Where are you breaking up?
Margie, I think you might be unmuted. Thank you. 5 drops of Deep Blue oil, 5 drops of Aroma Touch. This is great for tension and muscles and also edema. Like if you're on your feet a lot and you feel like there's some swelling, Aroma Touch and Copaiba. 5 drops of each of those in a 10 mil roller, top with coconut oil. Apply where you need support, whether that's feet after lots of walking, knees after walking 64,000 million stairs because you went to the top of the Statue of Liberty, or maybe you just slept funny last night and your neck is kind of tweaked. This recipe is gold. Love it. So that's something that I think is a great tool to have on hand because if you're making up these rollers, they take up very little space. And this is a 1 quart size baggie. So when you carry on, only your liquids are limited. You can fit in lots of things along with like your shampoo. I actually made up a shampoo bottle. I used an empty bottle from doTERRA, added my shampoo in there. Number one, the bottle closes off nice and tight and it takes up very little space. And I don't have to bring and go buy a whole big, those travel. I don't need 3.5 ounces of shampoo for a week. I take a very little amount. All of our shampoo and conditioner, a little goes a long way. But I can fit lots of things into my quart size baggie. And if you want to expand, one time I even took about 40 oils on a plane because I was teaching a class. And I use these little drams. They sell them on doTERRA's website. They even come with a little keychain. These little drams, I can fit a lot in between all my little things. And they hold about 25 to 40 drops of oil. And so that can last definitely a week and lots of uses for that. So I love how small and compact, and we can get lots of multi-uses out of this. One of the things that is something that maybe some of you haven't seen, it's an inhaler. And this is a little cotton wick. and there's this little dispenser tube, and you add your oils to the cotton wick, place them in the end, and then you add this little cap and click it down to seal it. Then you just open this up, and it's got a little hole in the end, and you can just breathe that in. So if you're on an airplane and you don't want to be spraying oils or making lots of fuss with your oils, very concealed. Maybe you're going to church and you just need a little wake up or a little calm down. Great to have these little inhalers, nice and easy, and you can get those on Amazon. When I am traveling, they do look at essential oils as medicinal things, so they don't count them as your liquids. However, if you get a TSA officer that is not necessarily in the best mood, you never know. And I would never risk losing a bunch of essential oils because I decided, oh, yeah, they're medicinal. And the TSA officer, I've got to convince him in case he's not informed, right? Not everybody is informed. So that's something to think about. It is a great idea for your sticks. Like Joyce, when you mentioned your Serenity, they make a Serenity stick, or maybe you use the past tense stick. These sticks, they're not considered liquid, they're solids. So you can actually take those on the plane and they don't have to fit in that quart size baggie. I do love my VMG. It's a powder, doesn't count as a liquid. But if I am using my electrolytes, my recharge, which I love this stuff, especially with elevation, and it really helps me hydrate my whole cell versus just drinking a bunch of water and going to the bathroom a lot. I love these, but they do count as a liquid because they are a liquid package inside that you shake up before you pour into a glass of water. Little baggies, great solutions for any of your supplements. I don't bring the whole capsule bottle. I just take what I need. I'm usually bagging up my little daily things that I take that we can just grab a bag, have that with breakfast, and move on for the day to make everything nice and quick. Does anybody have any questions about that? I know that was kind of a lot all at once. Okay, we don't have any questions. It's a very quiet group. You're all very polite. I would like you to give yourselves a nice little hand of applause. You're making me work very hard, but you are all very, very polite, and I appreciate that. And I'm glad that you could join me from Colorado. I do have these recipe sheets with like some oil tips and the recipes that I can text you. Just shoot me a text and say recipes, and I will get those out to you. If you have any questions and you didn't want to ask them on camera, you're welcome to ask those as well. We are getting ready to have a little dinner here and enjoy that with our friends. So I'm excited about that. So be patient with me. We do have a couple things coming up. We have the Take Your Caps Off class, which is going to be on July 13th. It's a Monday at 2 p.m. or 6 p.m. And Take Your Caps Off is about helping you get the most of what you already have, whether that's where do I find recipes? How much do I use? What's the right dosage? What's the right formula to make up a DIY project? What are some hidden resources? How can I maximize all the freebies and extra benefits available to me? Maybe you want to know how to make labels for your projects. It's going to be a deep dive to really help you use all the things that you have. And if you'd like a seat at either of those classes, it is free. Every guest is going to make a powerhouse rollerball blend to take home, but there is no charge for that class. So if you want a seat, reach out to me. As far as online, right here, last Wednesday of the month of July, we are doing a college survival kit. It's going to be a small survival kit to send with those college students that are maybe new college students, or maybe they are just away from home and they need some extra support. We're going to be looking at supporting those college age kids, whether it's your grandkids, your friends' kids, your kids. I don't know if any of us are ready for, the kids when they do go away, but we want to send them off and empower them. So it's just going to be a very simple class. with a college survival kit. And it might even be helpful for adults too. So I hope all this information has been helpful. Has it been helpful? Okay. Well, I love that you've been here with me. And I will try to have this recording if you want the recording. It might take me a few days because I don't have a computer. So I'm not really sure exactly how uploading this is going to go until I get home. So if you want the recording, it might have to wait till next week. But I appreciate all of you being here. I'm going to go off and have a wonderful week in Colorado. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your summer. If I don't see you soon, I hope you are doing fun things, getting out and doing all the activities you love. So, everybody, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Freya, for making time for us.
Yes,
Thanks,
always.
Freya.
Have a great night, and we'll see you soon.
Have fun.
Bye. Okay.